Hello everyone and welcome to PendulumEdu, and in this session for vocabulary, I'm here to enhance your word power with the help of this particular newspaper. Now the articles from these newspaper, why do we take, there's a reason, and I have told you in the previous session as well, and today I would wish to emphasize because a few people have asked for it. Now the reason is that the articles are pertaining to your or related to your course content. Like I would say, the type of passages asked, the types of para-jumble questions asked. Here in this, you get all the variety, that is whether the things are of political issue, whether they are the social issue, whether they are on national or international front, whether they are pertaining to the economy or environment. You get every bit here. Health, lifestyle, every bit in the columns, in the editorial, you get everything here, right here. This is the major reason, okay? So most of the examinations, and I would say major competitive examination, they opt for this. So let's begin with the discussion for today's article. And the article heads as appropriate strategy on India banning more China apps. Now, as we know that India has been rigorously after it and has been banning China's apps, the apps that have been developed by China and or developed by Chinese there, and people are using all across the globe. So India has come up with this thought and has rigorously abandoned the use of these apps. And to an extent, if you see this geopolitical issue, this word we have discussed previously also when we had this article on India and China standoff. There was a standoff on the borders, right? So geo and political, these words come, this word is of the semblance of the accumulation of these two words. Geo comes from geography and it comes of the boundaries and the geography or the locations, and political, we know the political agenda and the parties. So the geopolitical issue of these two nations has taken a toll yet again, and India has banned more apps. Whatever the threat from Chinese apps, India needs a better approach to tech regulation. Now, it says fine, we are fine with whatever threat we possibly could have from the Chinese app. Fine. On one hand, it's appropriate if it's threatening us, if it's something harmful, and if it's we're trying to ban in terms of to express our I would say the sort of apprehension now we have in terms of the nation, this particular nation. That's okay, but it has been suggested that India should look for a better option and a better approach when it comes up with the technology regulation of the country. So ये suggest किया जाता है इंडिया को कि इससे बेहतर भी options हो सकते हैं. Now, the blocking of 100 more Chinese mobile applications suggests that the Indian government, not for the first time in recent months, wants to make it amply clear. Amply is an adverb. Why is an adverb? Because it is qualifying this clear. It's a verb. Now, amply is an adverb and it means completely or sufficiently. Something that is enough. Okay. So this word in Hindi is termed as paryapt या फिर पूरी तरह से. So it is actually this step by Indian government has made it I would say the Indian government is wishing to or wishes to make it completely clear that it will not shy away from leveraging its positioning or its position as a massive market for technology in dealing with potentially dangerous geopolitical issues. See, I just explained you. Now you understand what does this phrase mean. So I would explain the meaning of these two and we would get through the entire sentence. I would wipe off the screen and so amply, I have just made it clear to you. I want you to focus on shy away and leveraging. Shy away is a phrase which means to try to avoid a situation. It can be because of fear, it can be because of the nervousness that we have. The reasons could be any, but if you're trying to avoid any situation, that is just shying away from that situation. So shy away is the phrase that is used, okay? It's a phrase to use. Now, leveraging here has been used, leveraging its position. So leverage, this word comes from the word leverage, and leverage is a verb which means to make use of something, istemal karna, okay? That is leveraging. Now, when I say these two words I explained, so now the sentence is very clear to us. It says, wants to make it completely clear that it will not avoid from, or it will not abstain from. Abstain मतलब दूर रहना किसी चीज़ से, किसी चीज़ को avoid करना. So it will not abstain from using it, or using it to the best possible ability or capacity, its position as a massive market for technology. India is a massive market for technology, it says, and it would use all the best, it would leverage all its possible efforts and its actions to deal with potentially dangerous geopolitical issues. This is what this author wishes to let us know, the writer. It further says, since June, when border tensions between India and China turned ugly, the government has still now stepped in thrice to block many Chinese applications in one go. So this has happened since June. If you think of you go back and remember of the border tensions, as I said, the standoff that was there on the border, India-China border, if we talk of that, since then, this is the third time in the row that India has come up with blocking these many apps in just one go. Hundreds of apps in one go. Hundreds of Chinese apps, I must say, to emphasize, in one go. In the latest such decision on Wednesday, it blocked 118 apps, including the widely popular gaming app PUBG, as well as WeChat Work and Baidu, owing to these being prejudicial to sovereignty and integrity of India, defense of India, security of state and public order. Now, I would like you to understand this point from in to the last frame, and I wipe up the screen and explain you the meanings of the words as well. I want you to focus on prejudicial and sovereignty to understand the entire context of the sentence. But also I want you to note that it has blocked 118 apps, okay? On Wednesday it blocked, and it included PUBG and WeChat. Now PUBG is a huge market out there for China and India, and you know the addiction that people had for it. Many of you might be having the same, right? So it says, okay, it was banned owing to these being prejudicial. All of these are being prejudicial to sovereignty and integrity of India, defense of India, security of state and public order. Like, why is it prejudicial? What is prejudicial? Only then you can understand what the content of the sentence is. So I will wipe out the screen and explain you the meaning. So prejudicial and sovereignty we're talking about. So prejudicial is an adjective. Now prejudicial means something that is or something that is not worthy. Okay, it's kind of betrayal, it's kind of cheating. Okay, so it's something that's not worthy or something that is harmful. It's not worthy because it is detrimental for, maybe here it is detrimental. ये किस चीज़ के लिए हानिकारक साबित हो रहा है? It is for the sovereignty and integrity of India. Sovereignty is a noun which means supreme power or authority. Okay, सर्वोच्च जो शक्ति होती है उसको, it is somewhere harmful for it, because if we talk of defense of India, security of state and public order, then China would also come up with, see, there would be retaliation. Okay, also, as we know that why public order has been, because people were usually addicted to this particular app. So particularly these apps have been focused, and because of because of this reason, things could go out of hands for our country as well. Because see, for doing something, probably if this turns out good in the long run, at present it seems prejudicial to a lot many aspects. तो अगर हम लंबे सोच के हिसाब से देख रहे हैं, सो ये यूजफुल भी होगा, ओके, हो सकता है, बट अभी एट प्रेजेंट स्टेट में ये चीज़ें हमारे कंट्री की पावर अथॉरिटी को नुकसान पहुंचा रहा है, हमारी कंट्री के पब्लिक ऑर्डर को भी नुकसान पहुंचा सकता है. आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज over 200 Chinese apps which were accessed by millions of Indian users have been blocked in all till date. So over more 200 Chinese apps have been banned. So you'd see the impact the government has made. The decision has been taken based on several complaints, a press release said, of these apps. So why there is a reason given behind it. The reasoning is that there have been a lot many complaints about these. There have been a lot many complaints of these apps, and this is the reason they have banned these apps. They're not stating that the reason behind the ban is because of the chaos or the disorder or the I would say the distrust that the countries now share, but it's because there were a lot many complaints about the same. Stealing and surreptitiously transmitting users' data. Stealing, we all know, surreptitiously is also an adverb which means secretively. Like चुपके से जो डेटा है यूजर का, they used to transmit it in an unauthorized manner to servers which have locations outside India. So this is a matter of security, national security, okay. So just to protect, they are saying that Indian government has given this reason of banning these apps. It could be argued that loss of access to the Indian market will sharply affect the ambitions of the internet giants emerging from China, but it remains to be seen if this tech side intervention is effective as a counter in a geopolitical fight. Now, this is a geopolitical fight we all know. I have explained to you in the very beginning of today's session as well, the meaning of the word geopolitical. Now, intervention is a noun. And intervention means interference or the act of interfering. दखल अंदाजी करना. या हम एक और वर्ड यूज करते हैं हस्तक्षेप, ओके, इन हिंदी. तो कहते हैं कि अगर तो this is seen like they say that, but it remains to be seen if this tech side intervention is effective as a counter in a geopolitical. कहते हैं अभी तो नहीं कहा जा सकता कि ये जो एक एक्शन है जो हम जियोपॉलिटिकल फाइट में ये जो एक टूल यूज कर रहे हैं कि चाइना के ऐप्स को बैन कर दिया, चाइना के प्रोडक्ट्स को बैन कर दिया, will this be effective, ये तो बाद में ही पता चलेगा. This will be seen later. Also, how far can India go to keep the Chinese players who are well entrenched in the global tech supply chain of the Indian market without prejudicing its own growth? Now, भाई आप अपनी ग्रोथ को हार्म ना पहुंचाते हुए without posing harm to your own growth, कहते हैं इंडिया कैसे चाइना के जो प्लेयर्स हैं उनसे, नॉट प्लेयर्स, आई मीन द टेक प्लेयर्स, टेक्नोलॉजी के जो प्लेयर्स हैं उनको कब तक दूर रख सकते हैं या कब तक उनसे दूर रह सकते हैं, क्योंकि because China has played or are well, Chinese players or the Chinese tech giants are well entrenched in the global tech supply. Entrench is a verb, and here it is used in third form with are, okay, in passive. So entrench means to establish in such a way, okay, I'll wipe the screen and write it again. So I'm talking about this word, entrench. To establish in such a way that it becomes difficult to remove it or to leave it. It's a verb, okay? So China इतने अच्छे तरीके से अपने कदम जमा चुकी है global tech supply chain में that it's really difficult to keep away from it, okay? So we some or the other way would need its help, and for how long can we stay away is a challenge for our country. It's a question, it's a big question mark for our country, and we can't even compromise on our own growth. It is difficult to argue against decisions that are taken on the plank of national security. On the plank of means on the basis of. Especially one arrived at by invoking the government's power. Invoking, which means evoke. To evoke. It's a verb. Okay, uttejit karna. Government ki power under 69 section of the Information Technology Act, a subsection upheld by the courts previously. So they say that it's very difficult to have a debate or discussion on the decisions that are made on the take of national security. So if this has been taken, the national security is concerned, then it's difficult, it's debatable, okay, and we would have to wait for the effect to be experienced. Further it says, but it would be well argued that the Indian approach should have followed due process, where the focus was on ensuring compliance with the law. Compliance is noun which means the act of complying. किसी चीज का पालन करना, अनुपालन. Okay, that is what compliance is. So वो कहते हैं कि इंडिया को better rules follow करने चाहिए थे, एक process follow करना चाहिए था. Instead, the Indian response to complaints has been to straight away block these apps en masse. En masse is a phrase, and en masse means in a group, like एक समूह में. तो एक साथ उन्होंने सारे apps को ban कर दिया, but जबकि उन्होंने process follow करना चाहिए था. Meanwhile, millions of Indians who were engaging with these platforms, some gainfully, have to scramble for alternatives. To add to this, the data protection law, a dire need in this. Dire means urgent. It's an adjective. Okay? Is not yet there. Data protection law जो कि अत्यंत ज़रूरी है, it's urgent for need, it's still not there. All this does not bode well for a country with aspirations of global leadership of tech. Like our country, India, wishes to be global leader in the technology market, and we ourselves do lack in these aspects in data protection law, in following the process and the procedures. Then how would we lead an industry which thrives? Thrive means which struggles. Sangharsh karna on global networks and rules. Ironically, China, which for years has unleash means to open, to release, khol dena. Okay. Widespread censorship of information kept apps from outside of its internet has found a rare chance to take the moral high ground. Like उन्होंने अपने market से बाहर के apps बाहर ही रखे. It has criticized India's move, accusing it of abusing the concept of national security. So even China has come up with, and it has accused India that India is using this term national security and is trying to ban these apps. So it is abusing the concept of national security. The last thing India needs is to be compared with China as far as its internet regulation goes. It certainly needs a more considered approach to tech regulation. So, even by the writer's opinion, we come to know that the conclusion is that India needs a better approach, a better concerned approach towards this in terms of technology market, because India has to have a good grip in the market and has to look up that without compromising on its own growth, how can it cope up with this? So this was the entire article for today. And the word that I want to focus on for today is dire, which is an adjective, and it means urgent, like dire need, okay, of dire need of rest, okay, a dire need of a job, a dire need of some snacks, Okay, so you can use it this way in the sentence, and please comment below your sentences. Any doubts you can have, you can let know to us. Also, the list of the words for today are there on the site in the study material section in the Hindu Vocab section. Kindly go there and look for it. Also, start practicing these words and look for the synonyms and antonyms. I shall see you soon in the next session with a set of new words. Till then, keep learning and growing, and not to forget to subscribe to the channel for regular sessions with us. Thank you so much.